All right, guys, good morning. It is Friday morning. Happy Friday to our 9-to-5ers. Let me get my going. Here we go. Boom, boom. Excellent. I think we're all set. We've got we've got 2 deliveries today, but only one of them is in the van at the moment. So we're going to make 2 separate trips today. The donuts are still being prepared for what a day. So we'll do Lenny's, we'll come back up, pick up the donuts, and head to what a day. What is it? It's 41 degrees. I'm really kind of surprised it's that chilly today, but it doesn't feel too bad. I think we're going up to 60. And yeah, so let's get out here. Seatbelts fastened, lights are on for safety, and it's time to pursue happiness. That's what we do every day. Oh, look at this, just one little car. Monday? No, it's Friday. Oh, it's Friday, yeah. There's noticeably less traffic on Fridays. And here we are. Whoops. What's that? I just felt something in the seat. It's like, what is that? And it's the, oh, look at the moon. The moon's getting ready to go down. I think John sees the moon coming up. I see it going down. Do you see it over there? Very bright today. Full moon. So anyway, so I'm riding along. I feel something in the seat, and it's it's the little, like, what do they call them? Dead cats, the little fuzzy thing that you can put on the microphone. I don't actually use it when I'm in the van. So it was, I guess it came out when I took the mic out of the bag. That was an odd feeling. All right, everybody. I was up a little late last night. Late for me. 9, 10 o'clock. I think it was close to 10 before I went to bed. And I didn't really nap yesterday, so I feel good right now. I feel excellent. But I would imagine about 2 o'clock this afternoon, I'm going to get that feeling. The feeling like, you need a nap, Craig. That's what's going to happen about 2 o'clock. Wow, the roads are very quiet even for a Friday. This is pretty quiet. It's May. Oh yeah, happy May. Happy May. May Day. May Day. Can't believe it. originally scheduled this for 5:15. Didn't realize I got a little early this morning. On my drive up to the bakery this morning. All right, now this might sound a little weird, but on my drive up to the bakery this morning, I came across that, obviously a skunk had been hit or something. There was definitely the skunk smell. But here was my observation, and I'm curious whether anybody else agrees with this. When I first smelled the skunk, it almost smells like, and this is going to sound weird, it smells like coffee? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Like coffee beans, not coffee. And I know that there's a slight difference between when you smell brewed coffee and when you just smell coffee beans. I mean, obviously it's a similar smell, but it's a little bit different. And the skunk smell is a little bit different. It's more like bean smell. Not exactly, but it's like in the same aromatic family. I don't know. I'm gonna look it up when I get home, because if you ever question whether you're crazy or not, you can check it on the internet, and somewhere you'll find a valid reason for your possible insanity. But I think it does. I think but when you first get that whiff, like, oh, there's a skunk, it kind of it has a similar odor to a coffee bean. Something to think about. Whoa, it's getting very warm in the van. Forgot I turned that up. Let's turn that heat down a little bit. Oh, 39 degrees, 39. I haven't seen a 3 for a while. I think it's because we had very clear skies. So all of the heat left overnight. Let's go through Reisterstown today. Let's ride through we'll go the business route. I think the road construction, where they were repaving the road, I think that's completed. I don't think they've repainted the lines yet, but they've got like those temporary lines. Oh, better stop. But the road has been repaved, so that's good, nice and smooth. I saw, what did I see? Oh, so I was looking at my calendar for May, and initially they thought that the Raising Cane restaurant in Owings Mills, I think its projected opening date was originally like the 11th of May, I think, the 11th or the 12th. And that's now been pushed back to the 28th. So keep an eye on that. I do want to stop by there. If they've got like one of those contests going, you know, sometimes when they open a restaurant, and I think Raising Cane does do this. Is it Cane's or Cane? Raising Cane's? I have to look. We'll ride by the sign this morning. But I think they have a giveaway for the first 100 people or whatever. So they have like little, you know, tchotchkes that they hand out. But they also have a contest. I think the first 100 people or whatever the number is, they're like, their names are submitted for a contest, and I don't remember what you win. You win something. So maybe there'll be a line of people there when we go by. I think the 28th is a Wednesday morning. I think. Oh my goodness. So I just got the warning on this van warns you if the temperature hits 37 degrees, if it drops down to 37, which it just did, then the van puts a warning on the dashboard that says possible ice, which is kind of ridiculous at this point in time, but just a heads up. Keep your eye out for ice. Let me know if you see it. I'm pretty sure by the time you see it, you type it, the message gets to YouTube, and Rosie reads the message. I'll already be in some kind of a horrible spin out. But at least you tried. You would type, "Watch out for the ice." And then I'd be spinning out of control by the time I heard it. But it's worth a try. Bob left the bakery maybe 5 minutes before I left. So he's on his way to Restaurant Depot for supplies. Now, I always like to see whether I get back to the bakery before he does. Today's going to be a challenge though, because I'm going to be a little bit longer. The fact that I have to go back to the bakery between the two deliveries probably adds a half an hour to my total trip, at least. So instead of getting back by 7, I'll get back around 7:30 normally, give or take 20 minutes.
Good morning. Our bridge ices before road signs stay visible all year long. Lol.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. Good morning, Mountain Man. How have you been? I thought about you the other day, but I thought I haven't heard from you for a couple of days. Glad to see you this morning. Yeah, I think it's funny that the van gives you this warning.
Containment-Q7L says I'm usually in but not talking so much.
Yeah, I do that. I do that a lot. I think a raccoon just ran across the road. I couldn't tell exactly what it was, but it had a raccoony look. Yeah, sometimes if I'm...
Containment-Q7L says our CRV tells us the same thing.
It's funny. The only trouble is like when it flashes up on the dash like that, it's like in the little message area. And when your eyes catch the fact that there's something there, first of all, it does make you take your eyes off the road, which is kind of weird. But it also kind of gives you that feeling, oh, what's wrong? Is there a low tire pressure? You never know what's going on. You got to read it.
Containment-Q7L says road does look a little shiny.
Yeah, that section back there was fresh pavement. I think this is pretty good, but this isn't right here isn't new anymore. But the road had actually just been, like this whole area had been repaved a couple years ago, so it's all in pretty good shape. But they did a lot of construction. I think they were making repairs under the road, so they did a lot of construction through town.
Containment-Q7L says what I laugh at is they repave the road then tray it up. Lol.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I know. They had a lane that was just all the way through town. In the right-hand lane, there was I guess they just dug a trench all the way through. I don't know what they were working on, but some pipe or something under the road. And it's never quite as good, even if they try. gas prices have gone up a little bit. Looks like all the regular places are now above $4.
Mountainman-Q7L says down here they pave lumps and bumps in the new pavement. At Mountainman-Q7L says our gas is at 4.15.
Yeah, that sounds. I just passed one. I think it was 4.14. And the weird thing, I don't know if it's the same everywhere, but like that's pretty much what I'm seeing in most gas stations this morning as we've been driving. But Exxon is always like 20 cents higher than that. I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand why Exxon, like how they can stay in business. All of the gas stations in Maryland that I see, Exxon is considerably higher. I just blew my chance for an Exxon sponsorship, but I don't understand it. Like, we're gonna pass one down here. Let's see what this one is. So all the gas stations we're passing are like that one was 413.
Mountainman-Q7L says BP is usually higher here.
It's weird, right? This Marathon is 419. But here's Exxon. Okay, so we're coming up on Exxon. Boom, there it is, 439. 439. So that's 20 cents higher. Actually, more than 20 cents higher. Why? I don't know how they get away with it. Like, why would anybody buy gas there? Unless you really believe it's better gas. I mean, I used to go to, like, you know, I'd like try to go to a certain gas station, but not if the prices are that far off. This is where they're building the Raising Cane. And it is Cane's, Raising Cane's. So that restaurant on the left-hand side there, which is dark, is supposed to open at the end of this month. Which I'm looking forward to, because right now the closest Raising Cane's is in Westminster. So it's about, from my home, that's about 10 miles, maybe 12. But this is like 3, so. Not that I eat there a lot, but I like having the option. This looks like that car that went through the red light that one time. I wonder if it is 4GD. 4GD. I gotta remember that. Let's see. I made a short. It was actually a very popular short. One of my more popular recent shorts, where a guy was like going through the red light slowly. I think that car looks similar. Of course, all these cars look similar now that I think about it. there's only so much you can do to an SUV's rear end to make it look different. I think they should come out with, what's going on there? I think they should come out with fins again. Maybe they should try to bring fins back. You know? I mean, it's not going to work on an SUV, but on passenger cars.
Mountainman-Q7L says in Raleigh the South Side gas was always 10 to 20 cents cheaper. 6 miles. Must really cost to deliver across town. Lol.
Yeah.
Mountainman-Q7L says
really.
he must be in a hurry.
Yeah. I know. He was very anxious. I wonder if electric car manufacturers like Tesla see an increase in sales when the price of gas goes up. Like, I wonder if that's something that's noticeable. Probably is.
Mountainman-Q7L says they also serve those that stand and wait.
Huh. I gotta say, today it doesn't look like we got as many people at the gym. They're there, but it's not packed.
Mountainman-Q7L says could buy a lot of gas for the price.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. All right. Lenny's, what time is it? Is it 5:30 yet? $5:30, there you go. All right, let me go get the rack.
Good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Good.
Happy May.
Yeah, happy May, yes. Happy May. Good morning.
Good morning, how are you? All the racks are moving out.
Yeah.
So everybody's taking their racks at the same time.
I thought he was giving it to you.
Yeah,
That's how sure.
like that would be nice.
Or in the back.
Yeah.
Papers.
stretch your legs. Close the door. There you go. Lettuce. All right. What did they get today? 45? They've been going through a lot of these cookies, man. They love these chocolate top cookies. Man. Last time I was here, they had 100. I don't know how many they got yesterday. Today's 45. You know what? That's stupid. Why did I put that stupid thing there? There we go. Just one cake today. One cake, 4 eclairs. Those eclairs look good though, don't they? It's making a little ticking noise over there. You hear that noise? It's weird. What is ticking on this tray? Here we go. Better call in the, what do you call that, explosive specialist? All right, have a good day.
You too, sir.
All right, I'll grab you before the slam. Before the door slams. All right, Lenny's is done. So now we're heading back to the bakery. Pick up the donuts. And other things. I mean, donuts is just what we call everything. But we'll get the donuts, some mini Danish, cinnamon buns, and cronuts. That's probably what will be on that order. Here we go. weird not making that left. We're not going to. Maybe I'll jump over. I think I'm going to jump over to the highway. Slightly different view instead of going back exactly the way we came. You know, we just passed an establishment they just built recently, and it's called the Tesla Collision Center, and it's a parking lot full of cars. I mean, it's.
King C says Good Friday morning, everyone.
Hey, good morning. Happy Friday. Happy May. May the 1st. May Day. May Day. But what I'm wondering, I mentioned that about the Tesla Collision Center. Because if you're in an accident in the Tesla, let's just say it's a fender bender, can regular auto body shops work on a Tesla? They should, right? Why would that be why would you have to have a special place for Tesla? I mean, I could understand if it was mechanical. Maybe everything ends up being mechanical these days. You need a
King
part.
C says, did you have a run-in with the collision center?
No. No, not yet, at least. Hopefully never. I mean, I don't have a Tesla, but I haven't had any reason to even be thoughtful of them. And in a world where all the cars are self-driving, should there be any collisions? That's the question.
King C says maybe it's where they study how Teslas respond in a collision.
Maybe. What's going on there? Why do they have their blinkers on? Is that car moving or not? It is. lot of cars in that lot, though. I mean, it looks like a new dealership lot. You know what I mean? It's just packed with cars.
C says Rosie seems very slow and delayed today.
Oh, is she? It's Friday. She had yesterday off, so she's got to get back in the rhythm. It is interesting though. I don't know why some days she's really good. She's fickle.
Says where are we at on the delivery schedule?
Today we had two deliveries, or we have two deliveries. One was Lenny's, we just finished, and we have one today, but I have to go back to the bakery because their donuts were not ready when I left, and it was going to be too long to wait. So I figured I'd go down and do Lenny's, and then we'll go back, pick up the donuts, and then go to What a Day. So we are 25% into the day. Maybe a little more than 25%. Whoa! Holy crap. Now, just to give you perspective, we're going 70 miles an hour. Did you guys see that car just fly by me? Like I was basically standing still. Did anybody see that? I gotta make a short of that. That was crazy.
Says, have you ever met Lenny? That Toyo 1973 says, good morning all.
Hey, good morning.
Mountain Craig. That guy was flying.
He was flying, right? Oh yeah, he just gave me some material for a short.
Says that was Swift.
I mean, that was so fast, it was like I heard it. I felt like I was on NASCAR. No, the original Lenny is dead. And even the children that ran the business for a while.
At Moving C says good morning. At Toyo 1973.
Have sold it. So, so it's different owners now. It's not even in the original Lenny family anymore. It's pretty old. It's a very, very old establishment there. It's been there forever. Big corned beef. They were very well known for their corned beef sandwiches. Bagels. What is going on? I swear, people, I am. If you were just watching this live stream, you would think Craig must be driving like 20 miles per hour on the highway. That's what it looks like. What is going on this morning? I mean, how fast do you think they're going? All right, and so I'm going 70, which I probably shouldn't admit because that's faster than the speed limit. But I'm going 70 miles an hour, or right under 70. So how fast do you think they're going? They've got to be going like...
At Moving C says, so Lenny's is now based on a falsehood. An expectation of a chef named Lenny in the kitchen, smiling as you prepared your food. At Toyo 1973 says the course is...
Yeah, so Lenny's is now part of the whole. I mean, Wendy's dead. So it's a legacy. The legacy. It's the Lenny's Legacy Deli. But what do you think? Like, are they going 80 miles an hour, 90? Especially that first car that went by. I'm gonna have to look at that on replay. We need to check the replay. I mean, the one good thing for them, I guess, is they went by so fast.
He says they have to be going 85 to 90.
That's what I think. I think you're right. That's insane. Maybe they know I'm live streaming, so they're going by so fast that I can't see their license plate. Maybe that's what it is. They don't want their license plate to be on the live stream, so they try to go at a speed that will make that blur. You won't even be able to tell. Maybe the first guy, it is weird that two people passed me like that on the same day, right? So maybe they're related.
At Toyo 1973 says going faster than a white horse.
You know, here's the funny behind the scenes story. So I was looking for the song to put behind the video that I put out about the white horse. And I forget the band. There was another song about Ride the White Horse, something like that. And I'm like, I better check. It sounded like, I couldn't tell, but I was afraid that maybe they were referring to something else. So I Googled, I like put the name of the song in there, and then I Googled, you know, what is the reference to the white horse? And it came back and told me that they were talking about, it's like a drug thing. Like riding the white horse, which I never heard of, but it was apparently a drug reference. So I didn't use that song. I had to look for another song. There aren't a lot of songs out there that talk about white horses, but there are enough. Yeah, it's very educational putting these videos together.
Says I wonder if you can put a clip of that into an iChat and tell the AI how fast you were going and interpolate how fast the others were going.
Oh, you know what?
At Toyo 1973 says white room by cream cocaine all day.
Yeah, that is the drug they were talking about. Ride the white horse. And it's weird because, like, if I just had a feeling when I was listening to the song, I'm like, there's something.
At Nuking C says the drug reference may have been more appropriate.
Yeah, but I was afraid I'd get banned from YouTube. No, not really. You know, when you're looking for a song that has, you know, related to a certain subject, the one genre of songs that always comes up are rap songs. There are rap songs about everything, no matter what topic. If you type a topic in to search for a song, a rap song will come up, no matter what it is. That is possible, though, about the video
At
clip.
Hala6448 says good morning everyone. At Nukin C says
Hey, good morning,
did you have
Hala.
to rewatch a lot of the stream to collect those clips? At Toyo1973 says Holla good morning.
I did because I wanted to match up. I wanted to match up the clip with the chat message.
At Mukim C says good morning. At 6448.
But there were a lot more messages. I had to actually, I couldn't include all the messages because I was trying to keep it, you know, I think under a minute. I was trying to keep it under a minute. So I couldn't even use all the clips, all the messages.
Mukim C says it was very entertaining. At Holla6448 says hello Toyo and Muki.
Thank you. Well, you know what else I've noticed recently? The AI, like I use Chat GPT, right? Is it GPT? And for a long time, when you would ask, what I usually use it for is, like if I think of a title that I want to make, that I want to put on the video, or a description, and I'm like, the title's too long, so it needs to be, I don't like my titles to be more than 55, because that's how much you can see before it starts turning into a ... or I think it's somewhere around 55. So if the title that I have in my mind is too long, I'll put it into the AI and say, can you give me some ideas to shorten this to 55 characters? And I'll say, like, here's what I'm doing. I'm making a YouTube video, blah, blah, blah. So I explain it, and then I ask ChatGPT, can you make this title shorter? Or sometimes in the description, I don't like to use the same word over and over again. And if I've done that, and I can't figure out how to make it sound right, I'll give that to Chat. I'm like, can you make this sound better? So anyway, I do that. And Chat...
At Mukim C says this explanation is much longer than any title.
I know, but it's important. It builds up the information is necessary, because what happens is, and I'm sure everybody has experienced this, ChatGPT basically comes back and tells you how wonderful you are. Oh, this is a great idea. They're like, it's the biggest suck up in the world. It's like, oh, this is great. This is a good vibe, blah, blah, blah. So, and I'm really kind of like, I was over it. I was like, I wish that it would just give you the answer instead of telling you how wonderful you are. It's a great ego booster when you're, but anyway, recently I have noticed that it's not really doing that so much anymore. Like, I think it was the White Horse one. I put a thing in there and I said, can you make this title shorter? Like, what do you think? And it came back and it basically just pretty much gave me the answer. It didn't tell me how wonderful I was. And I kind of missed that. But I think maybe it's just heard me talking. You know what I mean? Like, I've never said to Chat GPT, stop trying to boost my ego, just give me the answer. I never said that. But it's constantly listening to you, so it's probably picked it up.
1973 says time to start the day with Spark, stay off the white lines law.
All right. Yeah, stay off the white lines. All right. I hope you make some money today. Big money. Big money. It's Friday.
6448 says, so maybe you're not as wonderful as you used to be.
That's possible.
At Mukim C says it's obviously getting to know you better, so expect the compliments to dry up.
Maybe. I kind of think it's because it hears you all the time. You know, I mean, your phone is constantly listening to you. Constantly. So, I mean, it has to be, right? It's sort of an illusion. Like when you say, hey Google, and then it wakes up. Oh look, it just did. So my phone just woke up because I said that. But it's an illusion that it's not listening to you before that. It's listening to you all the time. It's just waiting for you to say, hey Google. You know what I mean? Someone is listening to absolutely everything that you say all the time. It's a little disturbing if you think about it. Or not that they are, but they could be. Let's put it that way.
Angela.co5b says, good morning, where we at?
Hey, Angela.
6448 says, I never used I in that way. I don't ask it for suggestions. At Nuking C says, this is why I use a rotary phone. It is a bit harder to text on it, however.
Good. No, I like to use it just to like tweak things if I don't think it sounds right when I or I need to shorten it or stuff like that. Yeah, the rotary phone, you're probably safe with the rotary phone.
Paula 6448 says, hello Angela. At Mountaiman-Q7L says, we must have flop phones. Lol. At Nuking C says, good morning. At Angela.co5b.
Oh, and Angela, so we are currently between Lenny's. So we delivered to Lenny's about a half an hour ago. And we're headed back to the bakery to get the donuts and the rest of the delivery for what a day. So we're about halfway, a little less than halfway through.
He says, good morning, Mookie. At Mookie C says, sort of like flop cameras. At Mountaiman-Q7L.
Yeah, I guess it's sort of like that. But you have your phone, if you think about it, you have your phone with you most of the time. And I'm sure most people don't even, I never thought about it really. Like I always thought when Alexa was a big deal, when everybody was getting those.
Angela.co5b says, good morning, Hala.
And you've got that, you know, those machines around your house, and you can just say, hey Alexa, do this or do that. I never got one of those because I didn't want something listening to me all the time. But then I realized my phone is basically one of those. Disguised. Well, yeah, flat cameras. I mean, even us, right? Aren't mobile?
He says that you take your phone in the bathroom with you.
Yeah, I do. I do. I don't frequently talk to myself though in the bathroom. I guess sometimes I do. Not when I'm taking a shower, though. I don't think no, I don't take it in the bathroom if I'm taking a shower. Not that that's any different than anything else you would do in the bathroom. Speaking of showers, Hollow, the shower in that hotel room you showed us the other day was crazy. Like, the shower itself was its own bathroom. Except, well, I don't think it had a toilet in there.
C says I'd be more worried about someone having access to the camera at that point.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, and there's a camera on both sides, right? So it's not like you can lay the phone down and cover the camera, because then the other camera could be. All right, here we are. Look at that lady just bought some donuts. She bought some donuts. Okay. All right, so I will leave everything running, but I got to run in there. I've got to write up the invoice for what a day and then load up the van. So we're going to turn this off. Shouldn't keep the van running. $4 gas in it, you know what I'm saying? So I should just be like 5 minutes. 5 minutes at the most. Actually, you're going to hear me.
It's very proper not to take the phone in the shower. At Mookie, she says Craig sometimes thinks inside and outside the box at the same time. At Paula6448 says I should have shown the shower, like open the door.
Well, it was all glass. All right, I'm going in now. I won't be able to hear you anymore.
Like he was the young one. Yeah, you're right.
What's up?
What's up? So, donut.
I always forget there's music in here. All right. Let's see what a day is getting today. $110, 110 donuts. 18 mini Danish. 6 large Danish.
Yeah, I'm gonna run down to Walmart. I'm gonna grab 2 gallons of oil. Is that okay? That's all I need to start to get here.
The week for you almost.
Hey, I'm tired. I'll get a titty and I'll be good to go. Do I have an addiction? Yeah, I do.
That's the first step in admitting that you have it.
Admitting it. We don't want to do that. You're fine right there. I'm just going to get my
You
body.
sure?
Beat a lot of legend.
You guys hear me doing all these calculations? I'm very, very busy right now. I assume you can hear me. Maybe you can't. Okay, that's done. Let's grab the goods. All right, can I take this for a minute?
Yeah.
Coming through, coming through.
Come through.
Huh? No, I'm good. I'm fine. Yeah, I just want to get their other stuff. Thank you. Here I am. See me? Here I am. It's my rack. Checking out my rack. Here we go. What can ruin the donuts? What'd I miss? I got some funny comments on my donut short the other day. You guys haven't read the comments on that one, you should. Donuts coming back. No problem. Okay, be back.
All right, be careful.
See you in a little bit.
All right.
Okay. I'm back. Let's see what I missed here. What time is it? 6:16. Craig trying to do math is fun. All right, I gotta read all this later. Okay, here we go. I can turn my lights off now. Oh, you heard me doing the math. Did I like audibly do math? Did you hear the calculator working? Or was I talking out loud? I can't tell. Here's the thing. I have to decide. I've thought about like on the sound thing. I can't hear you guys talking when I'm away from the speaker. So I could do the thing where I like have a ear. I could take the speaker in with me, I guess. That'd be weird though. I think I like that idea better though. All right, hang on. Let's go back to the music. Devices here, here. Okay. Press play on the device. Are you kidding me?
Kat says if you take us in with a speaker we can be disruptive to the entire bakery.
Yeah, that's what I was
At
thinking.
Mookin C says take the speaker in with you so all of the employees can hear how smart we are.
Well, yeah, I think I could probably take speaker in. I think that's probably the better idea. I think that would work. Because here's the other thing. Like, I like having the speaker. I know it bothers a lot of people, and I'm sorry about that, but I like the speaker because it's audible in the stream, right? Like if you're watching this, because a certain percentage of people watch it on TV and what people are typing. So I like it. I mean, even for the videos that I'm going to pull out of the live streams and little shorts and stuff, I like having the voice sometimes. It makes you feel like, you know, it's actually a conversation. But I can't hear that unless you guys are right with me. I can't hear it because I have the microphones with me. You know what I mean? So I lose that. I lose the chance to hear that. Anyway.
Paula6448 says if you take the speaker in, they will believe you have real friends, not just imaginary ones.
Exactly. Of course, you guys are probably organized silence while you're. So be like, all right, guys, you're going to hear the chat, and then you guys won't say anything. I can see that as possible. What am I doing with this? Hold on. Trying to get my music start up again. There we go. But yeah, I think that would be the better. I think that's the better plan. I mean, I can turn it down when I go in there if it's too loud.
Kat says we'll talk about you stopping at Dunkin' for a donut.
Oh yeah. Actually, that was one of my. I think one of the first times I went to the gas station, and I had the door open. What did somebody
Oxyman
say?
Says okay, I am up. No need for extra sounds. .lpl.
Hey, Moxman. How are you feeling? Sometimes you feel more
He says people watch on a big TV instead of something like Baywatch or Alf. I find that hard to believe. At Moxieman says stiff but slept all day AMB night. At Moxieman says worse indeed.
Yes, I mean, I know with stuff like that.
He says good morning at Moxieman.
What's happening?
Paula6448 says I just watched your donut short. As I left a comment, it continued to play. You really do sound like the Count from Sesame Street.
I sound like the Count.
Oxyman says I realize I am gonna have to wait this thing out. I better get my own vehicle quickly. At Paula6448 says good morning Moxieman.
Well, will they give you a rental car? Like, does the insurance cover a rental car? Sound like the Count. Yeah.
Oxyman says nope, they said that's on my end till the case is over.
Oh, that's not good. Well, that kind of puts you in a tough spot, right? Because I'm assuming you can't get a new vehicle until the thing's over.
Oxyman says, yeah, Craig, it does. Paula6448 says, if you don't have rental coverage on the other party's company, pay if they are at fault.
Seems like they should. That's such a frustrating process.
Oxyman says, I am gonna call a human, not just a claim computer.
Oh, you got a claim computer. AI. Christmas stuff is still out. Yeah, you can't really have a conversation with AI. Really, you can't.
Oxyman says, Craig is the cum chocula. At Moxyman says, Frankenberry. At Holla6448 says, the last time I was rear-ended I used the other person's insurance to get the rental.
Yeah, I think I had somebody rear-end me on the highway once, but I don't remember. I know my insurance company paid for it, but they were the same insurance company on both sides. Like the person
Oxyman
who hit
says,
me,
okay, thanks, I thought so.
the person who hit me had the same insurance company, so that made it a little easier. But they should be responsible.
Oxyman says, I can drive if it'll get tickets for debris trail law. At Holla6448 says that a great idea, Craig, you should have what seems to be a computer or I, but I am not. We are friends.
What was I saying? Oh, I was saying with the speaker, I wanted to mention that it was when I stopped to get gas one time.
Oxyman says, lol.
And the door was open to the van, and I'm pumping the gas. And somebody I don't remember exactly what you said, but you said free van or free donuts that come to the van, free donuts or something like that. So yeah, the speaker can get me in trouble. But that's okay.
Janet says good morning chat.
Good morning, Janet. We're on our way to what a day. It was a 2 separate trip day.
Paula 6448 says it's not the speaker that's dangerous, it's us.
Well, that's true.
Paula 6448 says good morning Janet. Hellcat says I thought just a cat was dangerous.
She is dangerous. Just a Cat is the OG of dangerous.
King C says good morning, at Digionet. Digionet says hi there at Hala and at Mookie. At Hala 6448 says she is the leader, but it's all of us. At Mookie C says attention everyone. Free donuts. At Moxieman says just a cat.
Yeah, is that what I think that's what was said while I was sitting at the gas station with the door open, so everybody heard it. See, I like it when it's late in the morning.
Moxieman says wow you could have sold out. At Hala 6448 says I think we also saying we were trapped or something in the van. At Moxieman says they would legally be responsible for the free donuts verbal contract law.
Yeah, I could see that. I go back to the bakery and have to tell Jennifer that I need more donuts. It's a long way today. We must have just missed this.
Paula 6448 says this seems to be a major road. At Moxieman says 90 econ delayed light. Hellcat says well, you were the first car in line.
That's true. That's true. True, but I didn't see it turn red though. So could have been. It's even longer than what we experienced. Today we had a couple of people. I was on 795, and we had a couple of people pass me at incredible speeds this morning.
King C says everyone seems to be speeding. I had to
know.
make sure that I was not watching this at 2x speed.
Today, did you know? Are you talking about the cars that were going across in front there? I thought so too. That's what just made me think of this. So this morning I was on 795, and for those of you that weren't here for that moment, there were two cars at separate times that went past me. I was going considerably fast, but you would think I was going 20 miles an hour based on how fast these cars flew by me on 795. It was ridiculous. I'm gonna make it short. Unless sometimes I think that, and then I look at the video, I'm like, no, this is not interesting. Maybe, hopefully that doesn't apply to a large
says
percentage.
silly to speed that fast. You'll see them 20 seconds later at the light.
Yeah.
Apollo 6448 says, is that a gained horse you just pasted? Hellcat says some people mix up the route number, 140, with the speed limit.
Well, yeah, that's true. Well, this was on 795, so you can only imagine. This was on the interstate.
Oxyman says Craycray people on YouTube watch anything lol.
Oh yeah, that's true. That was a comment somebody posted on my my video about the traffic light, where we were sitting at the traffic light. The guy was starting to slowly work his way through the light before it turned green. I forget how I replied to him.
Oxyman says you'll get views.
That's true. It's
Apollo
the
6448 says often when I think that, they are my best viewed videos.
some of the short. Yeah, I agree. That's what people are really into, that short. I mean, I get kind of in that loop every now and then when you go through the shorts.
King C says really about 95% of this is boring, but the other 5% is gold.
that's so true that it's funny.
Oxyman says exactly Mookie. Apollo 6448 says wake me up for the gold.
Well, I'm trying to pull the gold out.
Donaku 594 says but the gold is worth it.
See, I'm trying to pull the gold out and make the little shorts out of the gold. You know what?
Apollo 6448 says there is gold, then there is fool's gold. At Donaku 594 says I think gold is going to be a thing now.
Gold is going to be a thing?
King C says you can't expect everything to be as compelling as big horses and a Craig story about his friend that gets his lungs massaged. At Gideonet says the shorts are great. Our attention spans are so short now that watching a short is the perfect length.
Yeah, that's true.
At Hala6448 says, did you just say, you're trying to pull the gold out of your shorts?
Yes. My shorts will be the gold. Not financial advice.
Gideonet says at Hala. Ha ha ha. Says lol. At Hala6448 says I knew you were superhuman, that's impressive. At Donaku594 says this scenery is gold.
Yeah, this is I like this road. This is a good part. I can't believe how green, like all of a sudden, it's completely filled in the green. Didn't take long.
King C says lush.
Lush. Yes, it is lush. I kind of have this idea of taking a short piece of this footage, some section of this road, and having the video from fall, winter, and summer. Spring is kind of like it's hard to distinguish between summer and spring. But anyway, have the different views of it from the different seasons. I thought that would be kind of cool, but I started looking at that the other day and then I realized I don't have a lot of summer stuff. I had not summer, winter, where it was like snowing. But I think that would be kind of cool, like to make a video where you just kind of blend them together in some way.
Anaku594 says like that. At Mukim C says you have an interesting definition of fun.
I do. I can't argue that. I like making the video clips. It can be time consuming. Sometimes it's hard to find enough time because you have to look through and kind of watch stuff over and over. But you remember it. It's a great way of learning stuff. Like, I will never forget the fact that your average American eats 63 donuts a year.
At Hollis6448 says yes, that would be cool. I tried to do something similar. I used the song Seasons Change.
Yes.
He says this music is heavy on the banjo.
Yeah, this is my country music. Actually, that's somebody in the back of the van playing the banjo. All right, you can stop now. Okay.
Cat says so there is someone tapped in the van.
Yeah. Tapped or trapped?
At Mukim C says another kidnapping. At Hollis6448 says the changes in road scenery would be very cool.
Another. I think it would. Eventually I'll be able to do that. I just gotta fish through the footage.
Hollis6448 says do they take requests?
The banjo player? Yeah. He was on the side of the road and with a sign, we'll play banjo for donuts. All right, there are people at the drive-thru, so I think they're gonna come and get me unprovoked.
King C says with the time change, wouldn't that stretch of road be much darker in the winter?
Yeah, that's...
Kikionet says let me know what the bone situation looks like in there.
Oh yeah, we'll check the bones. You're absolutely right about that. That was one of the issues I ran into, that in the winter it was too dark. You guys are smart, I'm telling you. Here we go. I don't remember which angle we preferred. Maybe somebody just ordered a donut. Oh, look. I should have put it there. That's where I used to put it before I had the video camera. I think somebody just ordered a pastry of some sort. I think. Did you all hear that? So I'm going to try to do this quick. I'll do the quick swing around. Yeah.
Same road, same time of day, different conditions.
You coming out here for a donut?
Yeah, I need to
You need to?
glaze donuts.
Just glazed?
Glaze,
Oh, here you go. Here you go.
okay, thank you.
No problem.
Okay.
Perfect. You saw the delivery in process, man. That donut is going right into somebody's car. They're probably in there saying, go out and get a donut. It's been taking him so damn long. It takes him way too long to deliver the donuts. All right, folks. All right. Oh. I see like 2 large bags and maybe 4 smaller bags. So it looks light. Looks light. Light on the bones. Light on the bones.
Thank you.
No problem. Have a good day, guys. All right. See you tomorrow. Busy today. Very busy. One of these days, door's not closing. One of these days I'm going to drive away. Well, that would be kind of weird because like you would think I would notice when I get in the van that you're not there.
In the home production.
Okay.
Hollis6448 says, good morning, just a cat.
Sawyer. Good morning. Welcome to the van. Please be sure your seatbelts are fastened. All right, back up. Whoa, there's a car there. Gotta wait, gotta wait. Put my reverse.
Ikianet says at Holla yes. That's all I can handle. At Mukim C says good morning. At justacat.cs2. I am dangerous says goody morning Holla Craig Janet Mookie Kel I just wake up.
Well, it's early there, still.
6448 says I guess we all have our
Oh,
specialties.
go ahead. What is this person doing? Go. Oh my goodness. So this car was behind me. I was willing to wait. She's like, backs up. Drive-throughs getting backed up. They're busy this morning. But yeah, so Janet, the bones were 2 large bags were on the shelf and maybe 4 of the smaller ones. So it was not a lot. And I think it's been like that for a couple of days. So I mean, I think it's been, I don't imagine they have more on a shelf in the back somewhere. I don't think they do. Back to the bakery we go. I don't need to stop for gas today. We're still good on fuel.
6448 says bakery bound. Bakery or bus.
Bakery or bakery or bus.
Aaron 175 says where in Maryland?
I am currently
At Mukim C says do you prefer driving more in the early hours when there is less light and less traffic or at this time of day?
I'm near Eldersburg, Maryland, and I like driving when the sun is up, but I do like earlier hours. Like, you know, hitting the road at 5 o'clock is pretty nice because you're still before most of the commuting traffic. And this isn't bad because, like, right now, even though it's getting a little bit later now, it's almost 7, right? Yeah. Most of the traffic is going the opposite direction right now.
Dangerous says this looks like morning summer sun.
Yeah, it's definitely morning summer sun.
Paula 6448 says how far are you from Ocean City?
About 150 miles. Somewhere in that range. Takes about 3 hours to get there. So we're like northwest. We're about 15, well, 20. No, maybe more than that. I'm about 20. So maybe like 25 miles northwest of Baltimore.
Paula 6448 says dang, that's far.
It's not too bad. I mean, it's a trip, yeah. We used to do it a lot, day trips. We would take a day trip to the beach a lot when I was little.
Paula 6448 says there is a big car show there. I am dangerous says day trip today.
No, I can't do it today. There's a big car show in Ocean City, Maryland.
Paula 6448 says yes, that would be gold. I'm dangerous says let's go.
That's good. Rosie doesn't know how to say go. No, I can't do that today. I do want to drive to the beach though one day. Take some video. I was going to say film. I'm going to say film. It doesn't matter. Sounds old, but
Dangerous says go oh 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 oh.
Go oh. There you go.
Get my swimming trunks. At Paula 6448 says yes started yesterday, all weekend, hopefully I'll go next year.
Where do they do it? Do they do it at the inlet or do they do it at the convention center? I would think it would be one of those two places.
Paula 6448 says take us to the beach.
Yeah, it would be fun because we'd go over the Bay Bridge too. The Bay Bridge
Sean
is
White
pretty big.
says morning.
Hey, good morning, Sean. Happy Friday.
Dangerous says at Mukim C or Speedo's legal. Lol.
I think
At Paula 6448 says all over, they take over.
I think Speedos are legal. Are you going to bring them down? You're going to wear them?
good morning. At Sean White. I am dangerous says good morning OG Sean.
Sean, you were on, I think you were on late last night. I popped in for a quick second, but I saw you on when I was getting ready to leave.
Says they have morning cruise on the boardwalk. I am dangerous says no Mookie. At Sean White says hello everyone. At Hollis6448 says good morning Sean.
Oh, do they drive the cars on the boardwalk? Is that what you're saying? I think they made a significant part of the boardwalk cement. Like the lower portion of it.
At Sean White says yeah I was on until 11.
That's late night. Did you do good? Was the dashing good?
Sean White says I did 204 in 7 hours.
Oh,
Hollis6448 says blow off the bakery for the beach we need a beach day.
Yeah.
Sean White says hi holla.
Yeah. Yeah, but then, so if I blow off the bakery, then I could,
I'm dangerous says yay.
then they might not need me to drive, which would have a dramatic effect on my my daily morning routine. And it could have an impact on the overall 63 donuts per year per person. Got to maintain that.
Hollis6448 says grab your gimbal, fasten your 2K, and let's hit the road.
You know, my gimbal was out of power. I took my gimbal to an event last night that I was going to videotape. You know, I was going to take some video, and I tested it when I was home. You know, I like put my phone on it, just making sure everything looked normal. And then when I got there, I pulled it out to use it, and it had no battery power left. So I think
I'm dangerous says what event?
It was a spring concert at my niece's school. So I did take some film, some footage, but I didn't get to use my gimbal.
PNC says nothing worse than a limp gimbal. At Hollis6448 says let's find you that galaxy you've been longing for.
That's a true fact about the gimbal. You don't want a limp gimbal. Well, you know, Ocean City, Maryland is where that galaxy died. That was where it finally died. I was working at the beach. It was my first summer or second summer? I think it was the first summer I was down there. I worked at the beach for 2 summers. And I think it was the first summer it died. Maybe it's still there. No.
Hala6448 says the gimbal doesn't show you battery level.
No, it doesn't.
Hala6448 says more reason to go.
It does have an app. Maybe the app. I didn't look at the app. If it shows you the battery level, that would be the only place I could imagine. Or you could plug it in and you can kind of tell while it's charging how much battery power it has, because it kind of gives you the lights. It'll tell you how far your charge is by the portions, the lights that light up as it's charging. But it doesn't show you that when you just turn it on. It's probably on the app. I should look at the app and see where that is, because it was dumb though. I think when I went to Fort McHenry and then I went to the mall.
Dangerous says, oh you bright sun. At Hala6448 says the gimbal I just returned shows the level on the screen.
Oh really? Why did you return it? The gimbal. You didn't like it?
Kim C says this, by the way, is the gold part.
Right here? This is the gold part? Why? What's happening right now that's making this gold? See, this is where I should be giving somebody a cookie right now.
Hala6448 says I wasn't happy with it.
What? Which one did you get? This is my traffic light where I'm going to give out cookies. Maybe.
Hala6448 says I am still waiting for the gold. I'm dangerous says what gold?
We determined earlier, we determined that about 95% of the live stream is just sort of like boring.
Hala6448 says G7. I am dangerous says I want gold. At Mukim C says was it a smartphone gimbal?
I would think so, right? I think that's what he was probably using. A G7. I don't know that one. I have the Insta 360 something Pro, Insta 360, and then I think the word Pro is in there too. I like anything that says Pro, but I'm very happy with mine. They're freaky little things though. I mean, a gimbal is a weird thing. It's like a pet.
Hala6448 says I think I am going to get the 7P with the creator package. Sean White says did I just hear Craig say something about a lump gimbal and then this is where I need to give out cookies. LMAO. At Hala6448 says so you are pro.
I'm a GoPro. Yes.
I'm dangerous says lol. Kim C says product names have become too long and complicated.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Hala6448 says DJI it didn't read it correctly.
DJI. Oh, DJI. Yeah, I looked at that one too. That's a good one. Or at least the reviews were good. I like the, there were a couple of reasons I went with the Insta 360. One was the legs that come out. The legs that sort of make it into a tripod are very stable on the
He
Insta.
says, but was it the Pro?
Was it the Pro? For the Insta 360, I don't know that there's a non-Pro version. I think that's just in the name, I think.
Dangerous says, did it read Pro though?
I don't know. You know, they put the word Pro in there. It's like, you know, it's a marketing thing.
Paula6448 says it old now. Everyone is talking about the Pocket 4 now.
Pocket 4? Is that the newest one?
Dangerous says Pocket Gimbal.
Well, the Insta 360 is pretty small. It folds up very nicely. I will say that.
Paula6448 says yes, it's a camera and gimbal all in one.
Oh. Oh, that's interesting.
Team C says I officially have no idea what we are talking about anymore.
Yeah.
I am dangerous says it looked big when you flashed it.
Heard that before.
I'm dangerous says lol. At Paula6448 says sorry. Let's talk about donuts again.
All right, let's get a shot of our. Look, I don't have anybody behind me. No, it actually is a very compact little.
I'm dangerous
gimbal.
says lol.
There we go. There we go. Okay, still the same. Nothing's happening to that side. This side is done. Right? There's nothing left there.
Paula6448 says just a cat. At Mookin C says lol. No, feel free to talk gimbals.
I'm resisting the instinct to tell you how many inches long it is. Maybe I can't even talk about it now.
I'm dangerous says wah.
What? I hope YouTube isn't listening to this conversation. They're going. All of a sudden, you're going to see.
Says the shark has been jumped. At Hala6448 says that's coming from a guy whose tree is still up.
That's true.
Hala6448 says it's longer when it functional. At Hala6448 says it's longer when it functional.
She had to say that twice. But really, a gimbal actually is really something you have to get. You have to learn how to like operate it because it has a mind of its own. Oh my God! You know what's going to happen? Like you're going to be all of a sudden the live stream. You're just going to go into one of those screens where it's like the little boxes with the colors. You know, like what do you call that? When they shut down a radio, I mean a TV station, and you just get the rainbow colors across your screen. That's what's going to happen to this live stream in a minute. YouTube's going to shut it down and claim technical difficulty.
6448 says it takes a life of its own when it's activated.
It does.
Dangerous says why not show us?
No, it really does. I could show you. Oops. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wake up. Make sure you're paying attention at all times. Pay attention at all times. I can do a very quick demo when we get back to the bakery. Only take me a second. I can show you. I'm always afraid I'm going to break it.
King C says Craig will never turn this into a bunch of clips. It would cut off and show a test pattern. I am
That's it.
Says yay.
It says test pattern. That's what I was trying to think of. I couldn't think of the word for it. That's exactly what I was talking about. I love this truck. All right, let's see. I want to get a good shot of a cow. I want to make a cow my thumbnail today. There's one. There's a cow down here. Oh, I think he's about to. Oh, he's peeing.
Dangerous says lol. At Hollis 6448 says I know. I was gonna throw the damn thing in a box and forget about it. It has so many settings and
Look,
capabilities.
I think this cow's going to the bathroom, guys.
I
Probably,
am dangerous says where.
it's probably inappropriate for me to film that, but I did it anyway. Did anybody see the tail on that cow? Check out the tail on this. Oh, there's a cow standing on the fence looking in at the other ones. He looks sad. This is the brown cow field. How
Dangerous
now?
says let me see the cow. At Hollis 6448 says a peeing cow is gold. Capture it. At Mooking C says this is the only stream where I want to get a thumbnail of a cow. Would work.
It was a.
At Mooking C says pure gold.
It would be a stream on a stream. It's a multi-stream situation.
And Dangerous says lol.
I think by the time I got the camera on it, it had stopped. Maybe we were buffering. We can only hope. All the cows are very far away now. See, they're all up. Instead of being in the field right next to the road.
6448 says what goes on in the brown cow field.
Just cow stuff, mostly cow stuff. It's weird.
Dangerous says was the cow brown or white?
No, this one was black. The one that was peeing was black. And he was, actually it was a big cow, not unusually big, like the horse. The horse was unusually big. I mean, I was physically moved by the appearance of the white horse.
Team C says, what's the difference between cow stuff and goat stuff?
Goats have horns. They're a little smaller, and they, I don't know, beside that, I don't know. Oh, look, we beat Bob. We beat Bob back. Beat Bob back.
Paula 6448 says that happens to me sometime in crowded bathrooms, like a stage fright situation. Maybe the cow knew it was being observed. I am dangerous, says cows moo.
Cows moo. That sounds like that. That's a line
I'm
from that.
dangerous, says goats Bob.
Are you singing that Fox song?
Team C says poor Bob.
What does a fox say? Remember that song? What does a fox say? Or I think that was. All right. Okay, so let me see. Here, I'll pull. So here, I'll show you this. Down like that. All right, here we go. Okay. So here's my gimbal.
Paula 6448 says, oh,
See, it's
I
not
found
that
out
big.
my horse sighting came from the library.
All right, so that's my gimbal. I watch it when it goes to life. Here, hold
Team
on.
C says pull out the gimbal. I
got
am
it.
dangerous says it looks like the veggie rotator.
Here we go. So I'm going to put my phone, I'll put another phone on it.
Paula 6448 says, and on this farm.
Here's a phone that I'm not using. And when you put the phone on it, see this, it's reading backwards, but that thing has an arrow on it. And it tells you to point the arrow toward so that you're putting it on correctly.
Paula 6448 says, whip it out.
It's out right now. Can't you see it? All right, so now it's on the phone. And for the gimbal to work properly,
I'm dangerous says lol.
the arrows there have to be pointing to the camera. The arrows there have to be pointing toward the camera, okay? It's got to be right in the middle. And then that goes on here. Boom. All right. So now that's on there. It's not on yet, okay? So now watch what happens. When you open this up, it kind of comes to life. See, it just, and now it's off. Watch, here's what happens when you turn it on. Like right now it's off, right? Watch.
I'm dangerous says it's a fan ad.
It is, it's very, what am I doing? I don't think it knows.
Team C says this is the best TED Talk ever. At Donaku594 says looks like wall. At Hala6448 says that's the easy part. What setting do you use? I am dangerous says it's big.
It's not that big. There we go. Okay, so now it's on. So like when you go like, it moves around slowly. I try to do the one.
Says it is huge. At Donaku594 says looks
It
like
is.
Wally.
It's not that big. It really isn't that big. And then see, you can control it like with your thumb. See this? Watch. Oops, I just turned it off. Hold on. It's not back. Now it's back on. But see this knob in the middle? So here I am holding it.
6448 says someone pass me a donut. New York gal says I heard whip it out and it's not that big and
But
someone
watch.
saying huge.
Why?
New York gal says what on? I am dangerous
But look.
says, oh wow.
So here,
Mookin C says it's as big as that horse.
and it's white. But anyway, it's very convenient. See how like with your thumb you can move it up and down and all around? But to answer the question about what
I'm dangerous says lol.
what mode I put it in, I try to use the one, I don't remember, I'd have to read again. I try to use the one that is not fully automatic because that gets a little tricky. I don't know what it's doing right now. Hang on, I'm turning it off. There we go. Anyway, that's the gimbal. And then to close it back up, it's very, I'm always afraid I'm gonna break it when I do this. It twists around like that, boom, goes back together. Make sure it's off. All right.
6448 says maybe it doesn't seem big to you, Craig, because you deal with it daily. To someone who doesn't have one, it may appear large or massive. At Mookin C says, to be honest, it looks like it is completely out of control. New York Gal says it does look huge though. I am dangerous says looks like a KitchenAid. At Donaku594 says Rosie is blushing.
It's not old. I mean, it's not old. It's not that big. It really is not that big. I mean, look at it. Look, there's my hand. Look, see? I think it just looks big because everything's very close to the camera. All right, guys. Look, Bob's back now. See, we've been dilly-dallying over here long enough that Bob is now back from his trip. So technically, he beat us back.
King C says hello. At Nigel333. At Hala6448 says it looks very similar, but yours is known for its tracking.
Oh yeah, it does have very good tracking too. All the way around. You can do 360 tracking. So if you put that in the middle of a table, and then you walked around the table, it would follow you completely around the table. That's another thing I liked about it. I'm glad you mentioned that, because that was a good part of it too. Okay. All right, unfortunately we've got to end the live stream. I got to get in there and start doing some real work. Ask Bob about one. All right, you guys.
I'm dangerous says let's try it. At Mookin C says ask Bob about the size of your gimbal. Let him decide. I am dangerous says no.
Well, he doesn't have a gimbal, so he doesn't have anything to compare it to. He wouldn't know. He wouldn't know a big gimbal versus a small gimbal.
6448 says think about that beach trip.
Oh, the beach trip, yeah. Yeah, I'll think about that. We will do that someday. I can't do it today, though. All right, guys. I'm going to end the live stream now. As always, it was fun. I appreciate you all hanging out with me. And I will be back tomorrow morning. Saturday will be 5:15 tomorrow morning.
Dangerous says beach trip. At Mookin C says have a good Friday, everyone.
All right, guys. You too. Everybody.
I am dangerous says thank you, Craig. Good day, everybody.
All right, everybody. Have a good one. Enjoy the day, and I will see you later.